Hi guys, welcome back to Finpact. Today we're going to take a look at what's been happening in the Terra 2.0 ecosystem, what's been happening to Kwon and the Terra Labs employees. We're also going to take a quick look at what's been happening with Bitcoin and its price. I'm going to show you guys the rainbow chart to show there is still hope, but Bitcoin briefly dropped below $17,800 just the other day. And before we jump into this video, you guys, I want to show you guys Matrixport, who has been kind enough to sponsor this video. As you can see, Matrixport provides users with crypto financial products. They provide all-in-one financial solutions for all levels of expertise, so you can return APYs on your crypto. Earning interest on your crypto is a great way to earn passive income and buffer your portfolio from the downtrends that we are seeing currently in the market. As you can see, they have options of fixed income of up to 30% APR, flexi saving, which is up to 6% APY, and then we also have DeFi up to 10% APY. They have many more tools to offer returns. Make sure you do your own research irregardless, because all financial products come with risk. I'm not a financial advisor, but I have used their tools myself, so I'm explaining to you what my experience has been. They also offer trading facilities with spot trading and leverage trading with zero fees, which is really handy because who wants to pay an avalanche of fees in this market especially? Anyway guys, for a full review video on Matrixport and all the financial products they have to offer, I will link that in the description box as I've covered them in depth there. Now without further ado, let's jump into this video. I'm not going to go into the intrinsics of what happened with the Terra Luna crash because I've already covered them in my previous videos. So if you haven't already checked them out, check them out. They go through everything step by step and how this impacted the cryptocurrency ecosystem and the overall confidence in the markets. Anyway, the revival plan was that they were launching Terra 2.0, which did rally at launch, but it has completely crashed since then. We did see one more upswing around the 30th of May, but since then it's only been downhill. And on top of that, we seem to be getting tweets from the Terra Labs employees saying that there has been a travel ban. Now, Terra founder Kwon has not made any comments about this, but we can see that Daniel Hong, who is an ex-employee of the company, has been affected by the measure. And Daniel Hong tweeted, "Stop asking me why I couldn't make it to NYC, friends. This is why. The Korean government imposed an exit ban for all ex-Terra Money employees today." So it seems like the Korean government are cracking down on Terraform Labs, to be honest, as it should be. Many people have lost their life savings and the impacts we've seen in the overall crypto markets have been catastrophic. It's pretty much propelled the crypto market into a full-blown bear market. This has obviously been exacerbated by the overall global macroeconomic conditions to do with the rising inflation, and therefore the Federal Reserve has also been increasing interest rates, and that has contracted the economy. We have this looming recession coming on. On top of that, the geopolitical crisis has not yet resolved, and since then we've seen fuel prices and just overall commodity prices rise, which has resulted in supply chain constraints for lots of companies and pretty much every industry out there. Terra 2.0 is basically the old Terra Classics revival plan to launch a new token on a new network. But as I had warned many of you guys already, it was one of the most risky plays you could make. I personally stayed far away. And as you can see, this is exactly why I stayed far away. Imagine getting in at launch price, already having suffered the losses of Terra Classic, and then trying to believe in Terra 2.0, and then you see it crash to a point that we are at today. I mean, it was inevitable. We were already in a bear market. What were people expecting? The price to sustain itself? No, many people just jumped in to profit off the hype that we were seeing on the Terra 2.0 launch and basically sell to revive some of their profits that they lost in the Terra Classic crash. Now, the CEO of Binance has been very vocal on what's happened to Terra Luna. He said a string of tweets, which I will go into, but he also corrected CoinDesk's accusation towards Kwon about the Luna crash. So for some background, CoinDesk released an article saying that the Ethereum address responsible for the Luna crash belongs to Terra. But the CEO of Binance pointed out that the wallet may not actually belong to Terra. And of course, he doesn't want to be known that he's defending Terra. Who really wants to defend Terra after everything that's happened? Definitely not me. So as you can see in this tweet, he wrote, "Based on our analysis, this report is wrong. Not defending Terra, I have criticized them heavily, just pointing out a mistake. Cunningham's law. The address in the article does not seem to belong to Terra." Now, in other news, which many of you guys may have already seen, but Binance was sued over the collapse of Terra USD's stablecoin. And this is because Binance, who is the plaintiff in this case, was accused that the exchange falsely advertised Terra as a safe asset. Terra is not safe. I think we pretty much all saw that. But again, on this channel, I was very bullish on Terra Luna and the token itself and the ecosystem. I thought the blockchain was top notch. The issue is that the stablecoin UST was an algorithmic stablecoin. And this wasn't the first stablecoin that Kwon has launched that has failed. In his previous history, he launched another stablecoin that had also failed. Now, the thing is, an algorithmic stablecoin is essentially making something stable using unstable things, using a mix of code and Terra Luna. And as we know, the prices for Terra Luna are always going up and down, and code, well, can be penetrable. So a Utah resident has filed a lawsuit against Binance US and its CEO, accusing them of falsely advertising Terra USD as a safe asset backed by fiat currency. We know that it was not backed by fiat currency. It was backed by a mix of code and Terra Luna. And the thing is, Binance isn't registered as a securities exchange with the US government, so it has limited obligation to disclose information about assets traded on its platform. And the Utah resident Lockhart is hoping for this lawsuit to be registered as a class action on behalf of all investors who purchased Terra from Binance. Now let's take a quick snapshot of what's been happening in the overall cryptocurrency market. The other day, Bitcoin dropped to $17,800 and then bounced back. We have seen recovery. It is back above the $20,000 mark, sitting at $21,575,000. But clearly you can see we are still in a bear market. My predictions are that they will hover between 15,000, 17,000 and keep bouncing to around 20,000. I think it's highly unlikely for us to go back to the $30,000 level for Bitcoin until macroeconomic conditions resolve and this entire Terra fiasco also resolves and people have trust back in the market. All right, let's take a look at the rainbow chart. It gives us a great indicator of where Bitcoin is in terms of the confidence in the market. So back to 2013, we saw the first few rallies we saw and a bull market basically emerge. And we saw Bitcoin hit a high of around $1,106,000. And that was above the red line, which is the maximum bubble territory. So anything above or even nearing this line is the point you should be selling because it's very close to crashing. And as you go down, you get to the middle part where people question, are we in a bubble territory? And then as you go towards the green and the blue, that's when you are in a bearish sentiment. The prices are super low, and that's usually when you're supposed to be buying, ideally, because that's when the prices are at the lowest relative to historic prices as well. But remember, historic prices are not always indicative of future prices. Bitcoin and the entire crypto markets are very speculative. But nevertheless, the Bitcoin rainbow chart seems to have been quite correct when it comes to the previous prices and when the right times of buying and selling were. So let's just talk about where we are. Bitcoin is basically in the blue. So this is the fire sale part. I do think we could get as low as $15,000. And then we can bounce back and see some recovery. But we're not going to see $100,000 Bitcoin levels until at least 2023 to 2024. And that is in my non-financial advisor opinion. Don't take this as the be-all, end-all facts. This is just my opinion. The reason I think it will bounce back in 2023 to 2024 is because I think that gives the world and the macroeconomic policies that are there in the world enough time to feed through into the economy, like a propagation mechanism. So for example, when the Federal Reserve set interest rates, there is a delay, there is a time lag before that feeds into benefiting the actual economy. And you guys, if you see, based on the logarithmic chart on here, the highs could be as much as 400,000 Bitcoin. Personally, I'm a little bit more prudish on this. I do think it'll be around the $100,000 Bitcoin level. If it's higher, then great for us. But till then, I'd like to keep a bit of a prudish approach just in case, because I don't want to give people false promises. None of this is a promise, by the way. This is just my pure opinion. But some of the calls I've made can be right depending on if we're in a bear market, but sometimes we cannot expect things like the lunar crash to happen. It was sort of a black swan event, one of those one-of-a-kind events that no one can really anticipate unless you are maybe deeply entrenched in the Terra ecosystem or you work within Terra Labs, because we don't yet know exactly who to point blame to. The best thing I'd say, don't point blame to anyone, learn from this, and don't ever leverage yourself way too much in an asset that you don't understand. And to add to that, always have a diversified approach. Never invest all your investments in just cryptos or one particular crypto. That's just stupid, because if you do that and that particular crypto crashes or there is a huge fundamental crash within that ecosystem, then you've lost everything. It's important to diversify amongst many asset classes, as that's the best way to mitigate risk and have the highest reward in relation to the risk you've taken. The lunar domino effect has continued. Magic Internet Money token also depegged. And this has been cited by Insider Scoop by Cointelegraph. So Autism Capital claimed that Abracadabra accrued 12 million in bad debt as a direct result of Terra's sudden downfall. Actually, so many different hedge funds and different investors had accumulated bad debt as a result of the Terra Luna crash. So Magic Internet Money with the ticker MIM is a United States dollar-pegged stablecoin. And it's part of the Abracadabra ecosystem. It's joined the growing list of tokens that have lost their $1 value. Terra Luna Classic and the Terra Luna USD stablecoin has caused a spiral in so many different crypto projects. Autism Capital released this. They said that MIM may be nearly insolvent. MIM is one of the largest stablecoins with a market cap of 300 million. They said, we can't believe that a project called Magic Internet Money has been acting irresponsibly either. Kind of the irony, Magic Internet Money not acting responsibly. Talk about false promises. I truly believe that the crypto markets have been shaken up. Bad projects that have not fixed the risks involved and the fundamentals that are lacking have been kicked out of the ecosystem. But you know what? I think this is a good thing. Crypto is still in its infancy compared to what we can see in 10 years' time. I do believe the markets will be better regulated in 10 years' time. And I also believe that in 10 years' time, we will see more stability in token prices. And perhaps this huge bull run, bear run cycles may not exist, but they may exist in smaller oscillations. So right now we're seeing bull run, bear run, bull run, bear run. With smaller oscillations, we may eventually see in 10 years' time around bull run, bear run. Less of a gap between the bull and the bear run discrepancies. But anyway, that is just my opinion. What do you guys think about the current economic state of the crypto market? And also, what do you guys think of the overall global economic standing? Where do you think the markets are heading? Also, remember, this is not financial advice. As I've said many, many times, make sure you consult a financial advisor for your investment portfolio. Remember, this is just my opinion and what I personally believe. And also make sure you do your own research before you invest in anything. And before we leave, don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button and that bell notification so that you get informed on when I release a video, as a lot of the information is time sensitive. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!